I say that, I mean all sectors. Software development, which is already has a mark, service development, it's almost there, and also engineering product development, which over the last decade was sometimes left like an unwanted child. So could you throw some light on that?
Yes, see, India has to move up the value chain. I think it is very fundamental. We did back office jobs and a whole lot of things. This was the demand of a particular time, you know. So that was all right. But as we move forward, I think we have to become more innovative. We have to move from routine to more sublime. We have to move to product development. We have to move to innovative product development in particular. And that is where I feel rather sad that many times, you know, people who got excellent domain knowledge, let's say in environmental engineering, in biological engineering or metallurgical engineering, they left all that fundamental training, went into some routine software development. They become coders, so as to say, and that's what the industry demanded, all right? And their domain knowledge had no value, so as to say. I think we have to reverse the trend. We have to realize that in each of these industries, whether it is metallurgical, whether it is auto, whether it is coal, whether it is mining, whether it is biotechnology, there is a need for specific IT products. And I give you the example a little earlier on how in bioinformatics the engineers and biologists work together to create, and that would not have been possible unless the ability to code and ability to understand the domain knowledge had not gone together. And you created a world-beating product which was cheaper than the cheapest and better than the best. And we need to do that in every possible sector, basically, and that will require a complete overhaul of the current strategy, I believe.
Yeah, but it is imperative, right?
It is absolutely imperative that otherwise we cannot move up the value chain. You see, it is like this. The current charge is on the basis of man hours.
Correct.
I think we have to move to a charge which is on the basis of brain hours. It's simple.
True, true.
And what you can charge on the basis of brain hours can be 10 times, 100 times more than man hours.
Yeah.
I think that cost arbitrage on which we lived, we should start forgetting about it. We have to move to value arbitrage, and value arbitrage will not come unless you get into innovative product development.
True.
Otherwise, we'll be clocking the hours.
True. So somehow it should come both the ways. The industry should be open towards taking such graduates who are actually innovators, and not doers, not mere coders, but also they are innovators in their own might. And also it should come from the engineering discipline, the way the education system is framed today, to actually train more and more students to work in teams, to work in multidisciplinary, to work in research and innovation ingrained in their thinking. So they are more competent to face the challenges.
I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. Right here in Pune, there is KPIT Cummins Infosystems.
Yes.
Right. I happen to be on their board. And after I got on their board about 3 years ago, we've been pushing innovation very hard. And they have been, of course, great in many areas, for example, automotive electronics. And they have been offering a service to the automotive companies around the world and so on. Okay? But once again, it was software development for a particular client, for a particular purpose, in a particular time frame, within a particular cost structure, right? They never went into any product development. But when they decided to move in that area, they used some outstanding thinking by an electronic engineer, a computer scientist, all of them working together to create a system for hybrid cars by which you can actually reduce the consumption of fuel by as much as 40 to 50% with great returns on investment. Now that is a product that is going to be now rolled out very soon. In fact, it is amazing that even before the product is rolled out, they have got half a dozen international prizes. The product is so good. But here is a typical example of a company which was purely service oriented and was doing work on the basis of man hours. Suddenly they got into this brain hour issue and they created a breakthrough product which has got international patents and may have now international business. I think the companies need to do that now.
Now I would like you to reflect a bit on ICT, you know, this term information, communication and technology, and how it is touching the common life. It can make a change in India, a drastic change. However, there is an ambiguity regarding this term as to what it is, what it can be. Could you throw some light on that?
Well, in India, there are brilliant examples of enormous increase in efficiency simply because of the use of ICT. I mean, my mind goes back to Rajiv Gandhi's time when I was a member of his Science Advisory Committee to the Prime Minister, and I'm talking about mid-80s. Right? At that time, railway reservation was a big thing because all of us used to go and stand in the queue for hours together. No more so, right? You can do it on a mobile today. I believe that's a big change which the people are able to see. We keep on complaining about governance, all right? But technology-led, citizen-centric governance can be massively changed because of information communication technology, all right? Whether it is access to information by the public, their ability to interact, their ability to understand exactly where they stand, like today they do in income tax, that and the other, etc.
Land governance.
Yes, land related issues and whole range of things. You know, often in the .com era, people used to say, all that we need is one .com, which is hassle-free.com. Frankly speaking, ICT is the one which creates hassle-free.com for citizens. That is the citizen-centric governance that I'm talking about. And very quickly we are moving from e-governance to m-governance, mobiles basically. Because what is happening is that there are three things that are becoming important. The first is ubiquitous broadband.
Yes.
The second is data, voice and video being delivered. And last, anytime, anyone, anywhere. Okay? Anytime was possible. Anywhere was not possible. Now it is becoming possible as we move into more and more remote areas. But anyone was not certainly possible because it was linked to a select few. No. Now today, with 800 million people having mobiles, what are we talking about? The total country is getting covered, so as to say. So I think with that sort of a benefit, the changes are revolutionary.
Yes.
You can quite clearly see. You know, it's not just what happened in Egypt, what happened in India, and Nazare and the rest of it, the social awakening, the social networks, the way things are done through crowdsourcing. I mean, whole range of things are happening because of ICT. President Obama had once said, a couple of years ago, that education and innovation are to be the currencies for the 21st century. I would go beyond that and say education in innovation and innovation in education. Now, if you look at innovation in education, digital learning is changing the entire game. Clayton Christensen's book on innovative university tells you about how digital learning is going to be so disruptive that your ability to grasp things where you are sitting because of things being available to you at your command are going to change, and tomorrow's education is going to change because of the revolution in ICT. In a sense, the teachers will have to teach students who are smarter than them, and they will have to teach students who know more about them, more about the subject than them.
So, Professor Mashelkar, what we are effectively saying here is that ICT as a discipline is the need of the hour today.
I totally agree with you. In fact, it's not just as a discipline that it is the need of the hour. I would say we have to look at ICT as a game changer, as a force multiplier, as a transformator for society, for industry. Okay? And just see how it is going to impinge on our lives. I think India is changing in a massive, massive way. not just by GDP growth, but also by way of efficiency of public delivery systems, access to people of variety of things. I mean, not too long ago we used to stand in a queue at a railway station, right, wasting 2, 3, 4 hours of our time. Today, no, on a mobile we can just book that ticket. A time will come when the financing will become so inclusive that even the commonest of the common man who doesn't have a bank account will be able to do financial transactions on his mobile, for example. You know, I mean, that is totally transformative. Can you imagine 800 million people who have been left out start getting included simply because of ICT? What better transformation you can have? I mean, you can look at the fact that India had 5 million mobiles in the year 2000, and today we have more than 800 million, and they are with vegetable vendors and fishermen and so on, and that is changing their lives actually. If you see the vegetable vendor, he or she does Toyota model of inventory control, if I may put it that way, because he or she knows exactly the 37 customers who are going to buy what today, of what quality, and she has a perfect inventory. A fisherman gets an SMS saying this is the potential fishing zone where you can get 3 to 4 times more catch. He goes there, gets more catch, his income goes up, his ability to send his children for higher education goes up, and more importantly, while he's coming back, he has sold his catch. He doesn't have to come and store. See the change that is taking place socio-economically in the country. Behind all this is ICT, all right? So I would say, when you look at ICT as a discipline, it is not a discipline which is standalone. Like somebody who does metallurgical engineering, he can only serve metallurgical engineering. His job will be only in telco or TISCO. That is not the case here. Here, the application of ICT will be in all fields, and you start adding value to it, including small shopkeepers, for example. The appropriate software that they will have will help them improve their business. The small and medium enterprises, for example, the way they can do planning, scheduling, inventory control, monitoring, keeping track of raw material prices. I mean, the whole range of things, and see their profitability can double up, triple up simply because of ICT. So I would say ICT, I would not say is a narrow discipline. ICT is something that will pervade our life right from the time we wake up in the morning till we go to bed. It will pervade the boardrooms of companies. It will pervade the shop floors of manufacturing companies. It will transform the way we learn, the way we teach, the way we examine our students. The entire educational system is going to be transformed. Or in short, I would say, as one of our erstwhile prime ministers used to say, India's future is in IT as in information technology. Of course, I used to say also in IT as Indian talent. I think Indian talent and information technology, these two ITs put together, I think they will really determine the future of India.
So since it's such a multidisciplinary, broad discipline that's coming up, it makes sense more so to train ICT engineers in understanding life sciences and design, in electrical engineering, in computer science, so they have a broad spectrum that they are ingrained with to be able to face the challenges of developing integrated products.
Absolutely. And in fact, these are the kinds of engineers that we will have to train.
Yes.
And that will create a special niche for ourselves, very frankly, because I'm not seeing any such effort being made anywhere else at all. I think we are in deep silos, deep diving into domains and coming out with very highly specialized people in a specific domain. No, we don't require that. We now require people who have ability to think laterally, ability to draw ideas from different disciplines, ability to do work at the cutting edge of two disciplines, ability to use known knowledge to create something that is entirely new. I mean, like for example, when you look at a mobile, it's all known technologies, but the way it has been synthesized together, it creates sort of a different effect and functionality altogether. So getting engineers like that means exactly what you said, which is electrical engineering, computer science, life science, systems engineering, all these being actually brought together. These are the kinds of new graduates we want.
Taking it further, as you're aware about Gujarat missing the IT bus, there's a major argument about that. What are your thoughts on Gujarat being one of the potential places where ICT education institutes can play a role?
Oh, well, I look at Gujarat very differently, I'm afraid. To me, it's the happening place. To me, where not only growth is taking place, to me, new ambitions are being set. I happen to be chairing IIT Gandhinagar today, for example. I happen to be also chair of the National Innovation Foundation. I happen to be connected with Ahmedabad University's governing council. So I have a close view of what's happening within Gujarat, and I think that's terrific. I would say that rather than once again saying that we have missed the ICT bus, what are we saying then? We are saying that we don't have people who are doing coding or work creating software like they do in Pune or they do in Bangalore. To me, that is not the impact of ICT. ICT's impact on the entire industrial enterprise, on education, on governance structure, in transforming it and lifting the GDP of Gujarat is very huge, and every single sector you will find that this is possible within Gujarat. Every single industrial sector, within every educational sector.
For instance, there's textile, there's nano, there's automobile.
Huge.
Pharmaceuticals. Gujarat is so rich in that. It's about
Absolutely.
making that connect between how ICT and those industries can club to create new products.
Absolutely. For example, Gujarat is the pharmaceutical hub. I mean, you look at the generics and the biogenerics products that get created there. You look at the auto industry. You look at textile, for example, for which Gujarat has been very famous, and the application of ICT there is phenomenal. Now look at agriculture, for example. The importance of information communication technology in agriculture is huge. The kind of difference it can make in productivity in agriculture. Whether it is water management, whether it is soil assessment and management, whether it is provision of the right nutrients at the right time, whether it is planning your planting on the basis of the information on weather forecasting, and the whole range of things that ICT brings in there is huge. So I would say every single sector, including entertainment, by the way. I mean, infotainment is a big business, and entertainment is something that is going to be a $1 trillion industry. And also, I think Gujarat should have the vision. Let's not forget that we moved from industrial economy to knowledge economy. From knowledge economy, we are moving now to creative economy. And creative economy is going to be huge, because creative economy means products of the mind, so as to say. I mean, look at animation. Animation is going to be a $1 trillion industry. I see no reason why Gujarat cannot set up a dream for itself that we'll have 10% share of that $1 trillion. It is possible. And why? Because it's all up here, basically. It is hardware and software and the brainware all coming together.
So having said that, you are being associated with Ahmedabad University for quite some time now, and as you know that in Institute of Information and Communication Technology, Ahmedabad University, we have addressed some of the challenges that we have discussed so far. So we are one in unique ourselves because we are trying to club in computer science, electrical engineering and design, especially innovation, right from the start for the BTech students, so that in the next 5 years or 4 years of their education, they are trained to work in multidisciplinary teams, trained to work in, as innovators, trained to work as thinkers, trained to connect between the common man's need, taking technology to the common man. So do you think it will solve, or it will solve that niche that we have been talking so far?
Oh well, I think if at all it can happen somewhere, it will be in Ahmedabad University, it will be in ICT, because of variety of reasons. I think that entire spirit of the leadership, that we want to be a leader in this particular field, built on very strong pragmatism on what can work and what cannot work, supported by idealism, that these are the principles from which we will not deviate, built on visionary thinking of the future, so that you are not just developing the best practices of today, but you are thinking of the next practices of tomorrow. I think all this is an explosive combination by which I believe ICT will not only walk or run, but fly, and fly high.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.